We need to fix a few things now. First of all, as soon as the user consumes all his 3 moves, we should not allow him to click on these tiles, so this board should be disabled. Second thing, this moves left counter should never go negative. And third thing, we need to show the game result here. If the user has consumed all his 3 moves without any success, then we should show you lose. But if user has won, then we need to display you win here. So let's work on all these 3 points in this video. First of all, I'm going to create one more layout item here in my board component. So where I show my word and moves left, I'm going to create one more layout item to show my result. I'm going to remove the size attribute from here. And let's just copy this text from here. And instead of displaying moves left here, we need to show our result. We are already storing our results in this result attribute, so it should be easy to show the results here. Okay, so now we have taken care of one thing. The second thing is we need to keep track of this counter, and as soon as we have 0 click count left or 0 moves left, then we need to disable this board. For that, I'm going to create one more attribute and I'm going to call it board disabled. Let's make it a boolean type. Let's give default value as false, and then let's give the access as private. We can add this access in our result attribute as well, because we'll never use it outside this board component. Now we need to update this board disabled attribute when user has either win or lose. So for that, let's go to our controller file, and here we are already checking if the user wins or if he loses. So here I'll add one more line where I'll set my disabled attribute. So it should be like v.board disabled. This should be true if user wins, and the same thing should apply when user loses. Now instead of writing this line multiple times here, what I'll do, I'll go to my helper file and I'll create a function here, and our method name should be disable board. And let's just copy this line and paste it here. We'll need another method to enable our board, so why don't we create it right now? We'll use it later on, but for now I'll just create it. And here I'll simply set it to false. Now I can remove these lines. Instead I'll call my helper method, which is disable board. And here in this helper method, we don't need these event and helper parameters, so I'm going to remove those. But I'll still keep my component parameter because we are using it here. And we need to pass this parameter from our controller file. Let's copy the same line here as well. Perfect. Now we are disabling our board. As soon as I disable my board, I want to create a layer on top of my board so that I can prevent the user from clicking on it. So for that, I'm going to create a new div element inside my markup file. And let's give it a class as board disabled. And we are going to stylize this div element in such a way that it consumes all the width and height of our board component, and it comes on top of it, but it doesn't show itself. So this means it's not going to have any color, but it will be there preventing our user from clicking on the board. So let's go to our CSS file to stylize this component. Here we need to use this keyword first, dot the class name. Let's copy it from here. Remember, more you copy paste, better are the chances that you will not hit any error. Now here I'll stylize this component, so I'm going to paste some properties. First of all, I'm giving it a z-index, which means this item will come on top of my previous item. Second thing is we are giving it 100% width and height. Third one is the position, which should be absolute. That means it should stick to its place. And the fourth one is top and left property. These two properties complement the position equals to absolute property, so you need to keep these two as well. And the last thing is to have a cursor which says not allowed. So this will change our cursor icon, indicating that you cannot click on this component. Okay, so far so good. Now the third thing that we have in our plate is to avoid going negative for the mouse left counter. And I guess as soon as we implement these two solutions, the mouse left counter will never go negative, because as soon as we disable our board, which we will do once we consume all our moves, then we will disable the board and user will not be allowed to click on it, so our mouse left counter will never go negative. So now let's deploy all our changes and hopefully this should work fine. Let's clear our cache and reload our page. Let's select any of the game mode. Okay, so now the thing is our div container is being displayed, which is this one, and this is preventing us from clicking on this board. So this shouldn't happen, right? This div container should only come in place when we are disabling the board. So we need to have an aura if here, and this should check for the board disabled attribute. If this is true, then we will show this component or this div element. Hopefully this should work now. Let's deploy it one more time. So now we are able to click on our tiles, and as soon as we consume all our moves, our board is disabled and we cannot click on any of the tiles now. And you see that we are seeing a message which says you lose. Now our next problem is we cannot start a new game, because if you select any of the mode and click on start new game, nothing happens. It only works for the first time. So in the next video, we are going to fix these things while learning about aura methods.